guys, it's your girl, Ashley Kirkwood with the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast, where we teach you how to start at the top of the speaking market instead of working your way up from the bottom. During this show, you will hear solo episodes from me, where I'll show you how I have landed and negotiated 5- and 6-figure speaking contracts and licensing deals. You'll also hear from our amazing guests who have grown enormous speaking businesses by utilizing sales and marketing principles that work. If you want to grow your speaking business, listen to this podcast, and then afterwards, head on over to ashleynicolekirkwood.shop and grab my book, Speak Your Way to Cash, How to Start at the Top of the Speaking Market instead of working your way up from the bottom. Ready to dive in? Let's go. Hey, y'all. What's up to the Speak Your Way to Cash family? It's Ashley Kirkwood back again with another podcast episode. But this time, guys, I am actually going to let you listen in to a live video that I recorded. Now, if you're listening to this live video on the podcast and you're like, I want to join your next live, I want to ask you questions, I want to be able to get feedback about my business, then you have to follow me on Instagram at the Ashley Nicole Show, and make sure you're following the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook page. All right. Make sure you're following the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook page, because that's where I go live. I also sometimes go live in the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group, but enough about that. Even though you may have missed it live, you're about to hear it again. So listen into this live episode and let me know what you think. You can always send me an email to ashley@speakyourwaytocash.com. Let's listen in. Hello. Hey guys, my name is Ashley Kirkwood. I am the host of the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast. Also, the host of the Speak Your Way to Cash live experience, which is our event series. We just had it in November. It was an epic situation. Absolutely loved it. Hello, Facebook. Hello, Instagram. You guys, just got done with a planning session for my company. We do annual planning every year. We fly out to a location. Last year it was in Connecticut. This year it's in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we're doing some annual planning. And so we just got done with our annual planning. I'm praying that the internet acts right for this whole live stream situation so we can do this. But I wanted to come on really quickly and share with you guys on the podcast and in my community. I wanted to ask you some questions that I've been asking myself while doing annual planning. So if you are someone who owns a business, if you are someone who's like, I'm in the midst of figuring things out for my own business, then tune in. Or your own life, then tune in, okay? Great. Thank you so much for dropping yes in the chat. So if that's you, if you're a business owner, you're a corporate professional, you're someone who wants to be in a different position next year, drop me in the chat. Drop me in the chat, okay? I haven't done a live stream in a minute, so I need some interaction, some engagement to make this make sense. Okay, both. I'm seeing the me's come through. Thank you, Instagram family. Thank you, Facebook family. So just drop me if you're someone who wants to be in a different position next year. So I'm going to give you the 3 questions that I asked myself this year in preparation for next year. All right. Question number 1 was this: where do you want to be this time next year? Where do you want to be? And when thinking about this question, I want you to think about a couple of different things. Where do you want to be mentally? What kind of thoughts do you want to be having? Where do you want to be physically? If you're thinking about moving, literally moving locations, where in the world do you want to live? My husband and I are on a bit of a quest to figure out the answer to that question. Where in the world do we want to live? Where's going to be our home base? Where's going to be our winter home? Where's going to be our summer home? Where in the world do we want to be? Where do we want to be physically? Where do we want to be financially, right? This year was really good in some respects. In others, we can tighten up. So where do we want to be financially? And then in the business, what does the business look like? What does the business look like? And another bonus that you can ask yourself is, how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel? Because I will tell you guys, Speak Your Way to Cash had an incredible year. Shout out to all the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast listeners. I love y'all 100%. You all cut up, bought the book out. We broke We did whatever we needed to do with the book. The audio book was doing numbers. Like, we had a huge pre-order. It was just incredible. The book launch was incredible. But let me just give you guys a Speaker Ready Cash year in review real quick for my Speaker Ready Cash podcast listeners who are going to listen to this. We hosted the event. We produced a journal. I don't even have the journal to show you guys. We produced 3 versions of the book that required like a lot of effort. No, 4 versions. We have a Kindle book, paperback book, hardcover book, and an audio book that I literally had to go to the studio to record. We produced the event. And not only did we produce the event, but it was our largest event. It's our 6th time doing the event. This was our largest event. So there's that, right? Like, and we hired coaches for the first time ever. We hired coaches. So we have a Speaker Ready Cash team now. It was always me, Chris, a couple admins. We always had a graphics team. We always had all the people that I talk about in part 6 of the book in the hiring chapter. We've always had a team, but we've never really hired coaches. I think the first time we hired coaches was last year. So we did that. We hired instructional designers. We had 2 that we worked with almost all year. Like, it was just a lot going on for the event. And I mean, for the company. And I felt, if I'm being 100% honest, a little rushed this year. Like, I felt like it was just a lot happening. And I think it was mainly because this was a foundational year for the business. But when I'm thinking about how I want to feel next year, I want to feel a little more measured and paced out. Like, literally, I did the event in November. I went to Mexico right after. I came back. I immediately went into annual planning. I was telling Chris, like, next year, man, we're doing annual planning in October. Like, why do we have to do annual planning in December? We should do it in October. That way it's easier on me because I have the big event in November. Like, I just felt like it was a lot happening in this one event. And then for those of you who attended the event, it was essentially, we did 2 events in one, because I did an in-person event, had to hold the in-person room. Then we had a virtual element to the event. We were doing them both at the exact same time. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was incredible in terms of the results. We have amazing people that we're going to be working with. It was a lot. It was a lot. The event this year for my Speaker Ready Cash business was a lot. It was just a lot. And in addition to all that, I run a law firm. I'm the founder of a law firm called Mobile General Counsel. And it's one that thankfully runs without me dedicating 100% of my business efforts to it, but it's still an entire law firm. So I'm running 2 companies full speed ahead, and it was a lot. It was a lot. And so systematizing and decluttering our businesses and decluttering our lives was really, 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 really important this year. But it was a foundational year. And I knew at the beginning of last year that last year was going to be a work year. We were going to get work done. But next year, we are literally planning. So I have my annual planning meeting today for Mobile General Counsel. I have my annual planning meeting tomorrow for Speaker Ready Cash. And I'm very excited about it because we are going to plan the entire year, all of our launches, all of our promotions, all of our, like, everything. We're going to plan it in advance. The other thing, last year, we did one humongous launch. Next year, what you all will see from the company preview for those of y'all that are down, that are on this live video rocking with me, okay? You will have, we're going to do like 3 different challenges in addition to the big event. So it won't just be one big event, okay? Or maybe 2, but you'll see some other little stuff that we're going to do in addition to that. And then we're thinking, this is like behind the scenes stuff, right? We're bringing this up tomorrow. The way we market will be different next year. The way that we serve will be different. And we're considering, it's on the table, but it has not been approved by the decision makers of the company outside of myself. We're thinking of adding laser coaching calls for speakers. So like a 45-minute laser session with me might be coming to the docket. If you're down for that, like if you're like, I like that, just drop a yes in the chat. If you're like, I would love to do a 45-minute one-on-one laser coaching session with Ashley, where I ask her one question about my speaking business. She gives me life for 45 minutes and I go on about my merry way and make some money. If that's something you would love, then just put yes, because we're voting on this tomorrow. Literally tomorrow, we're voting on this. So if you're like, yes, I would love that. Like, it's going to be an investment. First of all, y'all already know how I get down. So you're going to have to come out of out of the money for me to do something one-on-one like that. But we're thinking about it. We're really thinking about it, because for the firm, and I'll give you the rationale, like our firm, we have audits that you can do with lawyers, and the audit is very inexpensive. It's like $350, and they literally go through and audit your whole business. But for the speaker with a cash company, we don't have anything like that currently on the table. However, I think that may be a good thing to do. And then from there, if you're a good fit for one of our other programs, we could put you in it, because look, we are very selective with who we work with in the firm and in my speaking company. And I believe that here's what I just literally said this in my meeting. I'm like, look, we're not everybody's law firm. We're not a mill. We're not like trying to do 1 million trademarks and everyone who comes in is a number. We're not like that. We want to work with 25 to 30 powerful, profitable businesses each year who understand the high level of services that we provide. And that's pretty much it. And it's very similar for speaking. I work with 15 to 25 in a group coaching setting, speakers each year that really want to take it to the next level. And they ain't nothing to play with, and neither am I. And so it works out very well. That said, there may be other people who are great to work with us. They just aren't group coaching people. And so we want to give them some way to engage with us outside of doing a full VIP day, although we do have that too. So where do you want to be this time next year? And let me say this, can we have some real dialogue? Can I just like let my hair, I got braids, I can let my hair down. But like, can I just say this, y'all? So many of us are not honest about where we're at. So you are lying to yourself about where you want to be. Woo! Can we go here for like, as a detour? Like, and I'm gonna be real with you, because this has been me, all right? Now look, I want y'all to talk back to me like we in the Black church, because I'm gonna go a little bit there. I've been on vacation for a while. I ain't done a live video in a while. We just gonna go there a little bit. If you've ever lied to yourself about if you've ever lied to yourself about where you're at in life, like told yourself you're happy when you're not, told yourself you're content when you're not, told yourself you like your job when you don't, told yourself you love your clients when you don't, if you've ever lied to yourself, just drop lies in the chat. And I would do it on Instagram too, but like, I'm gonna just drop lies in the chat, because hello, it was me, I'm her. I have literally lied to myself about my state of happiness so that I could survive my current state. Like, if I'm honest, I've done it because I was like, dang, I can't even admit that I'm not happy right now, because A, from the outside looking in, life looks good, and B, if I admit that I'm not happy, then I'm accountable to that emotion and I gotta do something about it, okay? And so for some of us, we lie to ourselves about where we're at because we're like, one, it looks like I'm doing good, maybe I really am, lie. Or two, if I say I'm not happy, now I'm accountable to fix another problem and I got too many problems on my plate already. Can we just be honest about that? Okay, I got a few of y'all that's gonna rock with me tonight. Because this is the thing that I learned about annual planning, about vision casting, about setting goals, is that if I can't even be truthful about where I'm at, then like, how in the world can I be truthful about where I want to go? Like, I literally cannot. I cannot be truthful about where I want to go if I'm not truthful about where I'm at. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And why won't it happen? Let's talk about why it won't happen. It won't happen because if I can't be honest about where I'm starting from, I cannot get accurate directions for where I'm going. You just can't. It'd be like right now, I'm at a house in Arizona. If I put in the GPS where I want to go, but I'm not honest about where I'm starting from, the GPS is going to lead me to the direction that I told it to go. So a lot of us are wondering why we're not further ahead, why we're not getting the things we want, why nobody's helping us, why our clients are the way they are, why our husband, spouse, wife, partner, whatever, is acting the way they're acting, it's because you're lying about where you really are at emotionally and physically in life. And so the first thing I had to do with annual planning this year was figure out, okay, what do I genuinely love about what I'm doing right now? And then what don't I? What don't I like? What didn't I love about this year? Who did I really love representing? You know what I mean? What didn't I love doing as much? It is okay to be real. It doesn't mean that you're complaining or you're ungrateful. And let me just help some of y'all, because some of us were raised like me. We were raised in the church to be grateful to God, to be content, to be loving, to be kind, to be all these things. That's great. But lying about how you genuinely feel isn't noble. You're not gonna get a gold star for that, okay? It's okay to say, I am grateful for what I have, but there are some things about it that I don't like, so that you can tweak where you're headed. You gotta be honest. I would not be, and right now, just to give you guys a little bit of hope, okay? I used to lie about loving my job when I was in corporate, and I had a good job. This is back in the day, I had a $300,000 job. It was a good job. I liked the job, it was okay. But there were various elements of the job that I did not like. So what I would do is I would do all this other stuff outside of work, extracurricular activities, to try to mask the fact that I wasn't being fulfilled in my 70+ hour a week job. So people were like, oh my goodness, you do so much. You have a YouTube show, you go on these podcasts, you speak and get paid, you do all these extra things. Why do you do so much? And the truth is, I was doing it because I was so underfulfilled in my day job that I needed activities that would actually fulfill me. And my limiting belief was, I can't have a life that is filled with activities that fulfill me the majority of the time. So I need to work so I can get paid. And I would put all the things that I really love to do, like I would do all those things as extracurricular activities. So that was like my way of coping with the fact that I genuinely just did not like my job. And there were elements of it that I did like. So once I started getting honest about it, okay, I don't like this job. Let's be real. I don't like this job. I don't like it. I could be honest about the elements of it that I liked. And so there are some of you, when you do your annual planning, just do it. If you can't tell anyone these things, because it's too hard to be real with people, because I get it. Everybody don't get it. Sit down with yourself and analyze, okay, overall, I felt pretty good about the year. Like maybe that's where you're at. But there were some elements that you liked and some elements that you didn't like. And you got to get clear about what are the elements that you like. It's Tyvis, right? Truth. Okay. Hey, how are you? You have to get clear about the elements that you like and clear about the elements that you didn't like. Like my old job, I liked the money. I really did. No qualms, liked the money. I liked the speaking element of it. I liked going to trial and presenting in front of a group of people. I thought that was crazy exhilarating. I had so much adrenaline when I did it. Loved it, right? Loved that. I liked working on a team, but more importantly, I liked being able to provide opportunities. There was a woman that was told she couldn't go to trial, but when she went to trial, she actually made overtime, and she wanted to be able to provide a really good Christmas to her kids. I was able to make sure she had that. Other people told her she couldn't do it. I went to the partner, made sure it got done. I hand selected my team. I liked having that level of power and authority. Great, liked hiring. But when I parsed it out like this, I was able to see, well, wait, I liked speaking. I liked hiring. I liked generating income. I liked selling. I loved performing. I don't have to work here to do those things. I can get all of those things somewhere else. And then it was like, okay, but where? And I started looking for other jobs that highlighted those elements, and I didn't find it. And then I prayed this prayer. And if you've been following me for a while, you already know the prayer. It was like, God, I want a job that is custom made for me. As soon as I prayed that prayer, y'all, job offers I had were rescinded. Everything looked real dim. It was like, oh, snap, should not have prayed that prayer, because now all these other things I thought were right, I thought were blessings, went away. Yikes. That's another reason why a lot of people aren't honest. Because once you start praying prayers, I call them powerful, accountable prayers. Once you start praying powerful, accountable prayers, anything's liable to happen. Like, all of your comfort can be rocked. I'm gonna be real with you about this, because I think a lot of people talk about praying the prayer, taking the faith walk, and it looks glamorous and it looks nice. And now I'm on the glamorous side of it. Like, I do get to live a very good life. No lie. Me and my husband literally were talking the other day. We were like, where are we going to spend January? What month? What country we going to spend it in? What state we want to be in? Where is it warm? Like, these are our real life conversations. So it is great. I'm very happy that I took this walk, but in the moment, it was devastating. It was devastating to lose all these opportunities that I thought were answers to my prayers, but they were answers to the prayers I was praying when I was lying to myself and everybody else. Can we just sit with that? Can we just be 100% honest tonight? Because there are some prayers that you pray when you're not honest, some things that you utter to God and the world when you're not honest, and opportunities will come that look like answers to those prayers. But those were the prayers I prayed when I was trying to deceive myself and everybody else. I did not really want them jobs that them people was offering me. And in fact, there was a man who said he had given me a job offer, really great job offer. It was all good. I was going to take it. He had sat me down and he was like, Ashley, we're going to give you this job offer because you qualified. Okay, child. But the truth of the matter is, you are not like everyone else. He was like, you're not like most associate attorneys. Like, you're not going to come in here and do whatever we say. You're going to challenge what we do because your natural propensity is to challenge things and inquire and to make things better and to lead. He was like, and all of that is real good for a CEO, but it's not what we're looking for in an employee. He was like, but you're qualified. We're going to give you the job. But really, you should just lead people somewhere. He was like, you're a leader. And I can't say that to everyone, but I'm saying it to you because I don't want you to live a life that you're not content with. And this dude was someone I put on a pedestal because he was doing what I thought I wanted to do. I thought I was supposed to, be a trial lawyer that traveled the world and dominated in the courtroom. And I was on track to be that. Like, got in the trial bar, did more trials than any other junior associate at my firm at the time, in my rank, in my office. Like, at least that's what I was told. There were partners who hadn't done as many trials as me. I was on the road, trying cases around the country, on flights, taking flights. Like, I was doing all of that. I was on the path to doing all of that. But when I looked at what I genuinely loved about all of it, I loved traveling. I do that now. I loved speaking. I do that now. I loved having a team. I have one now. I love making money. I make that now. All the elements that I liked were there, and it could have deceived me for life, y'all, if I would not have taken the time to do self-inspection. So there are some of you watching this right now that believe you're doing the exact thing you want to do, except in your heart of hearts, in the quietest moments of reflection, you feel there's something missing. You don't know what. You don't know why. Everyone around you, if you were to utter it, would think that you're crazy because everything is lining up perfectly and you're doing more than all the people around you. That's a whole word within itself. You need to not be doing more than all the people around you, but I ain't even gonna go there because we got 2 more questions to cover. But like, you can live a life of deception if you're not honest with yourself. And it can be real close to purpose, but there's still underlying pain there. And I'm gonna be real with you guys. Every single day I wake up and I do the work that I do now for Speak Your Way to Cash, I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. There's still more for me to do. There's still more levels of fear for me to overcome. There's still limiting beliefs that I need to shatter. There are still stages that I need to walk on. There are still people that I need to impact, but I'm so willing to do whatever work is required to get there that I know that I'll get there. I know that I'll do exactly what I'm purposed to do because I am not deceiving myself. People talk about fronting all the time, but the most dangerous person to lie to is yourself. Everyone around you will accommodate self-deception if it looks good. Can we just look, if you believe everyone around you will accommodate self-deception as long as it's pretty, just drop correct in the chat. Just drop correct in the chat. Because here's the other thing, y'all. It is painful for other people to see you moving in pure purpose anyways. It is a lot of people that want you to stay exactly where you're at, exactly where they can understand it, because seeing you walk in your purpose is a reflection of what they never did. So I don't want you all to get caught up in compliments that will keep you stagnant when you know you're called for more. It doesn't mean that you negate, everything that you've accomplished. It doesn't mean that you stop, being grateful and thankful and conscious of the beauty of what you have, but do not get caught up. Don't get caught up in self-deception. In order to do planning in a way that will really help your future, you cannot get caught up in self-deception. I'm just saying, you can't get caught up, y'all. You cannot get caught up in self-deception. And so I had to be real about what I liked, what I didn't like. And to be clear, there will always be things that you'll have to do that you won't like. It's not that I like every element of what I'm doing now. It's that I feel I am in total alignment with who I'm called to be on this planet. And I am doing the thing right now that if I continue to work at, I can be the best in the world at. That is, speaking is it, right? Like, that's my thing. And it's not just getting on stage and speaking, it's the impact that happens from it. It's the people whose lives change from it. It's the way that I'm able to articulate concepts that make it clear to other people where they should be going. Like, it is what I'm supposed to do. You got to find your thing. But first, you got to ask yourself, where do you want to be this time next year? Where do you want to be? Let's bring it home. Where do you want to be this time next year? And that question can only be answered accurately if the first question is, where am I now? Where am I now? Okay. The second question you want to ask is, how will you get there? How will you get there? What's the path? What is the path? And this is where I find a lot of people abandon goal setting. I think for a lot of people, it's very easy to goal set like this. I want to make 100,000 next year. I want to make 2 million next year. I want to make money next year. Like, the easiest way to goal set is to put a number up there. Like, I want to make this next year. Okay, cool. How will you get there? And let me be clear, how will you get there specifically? What are you going to do day in and day out to achieve the goal that you've set? What are the activities that you will commit to day in and day out to achieve the goals that you've set? Ooh, and let me tell y'all something else. I was listening to this book. I'm not going to recommend the book because it's a little raunchy and I don't really love the whole book. But there was one thing that was said in the book that I like, and I'm going to share with you all right now. And if you have a pen or paper, I want you to write this down. He was like, most people ask, how do I want to feel? He said, the better question is, what pain am I willing to endure? And let me break this down, because when I heard it, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so powerful. But he was like, most people ask, how do I want to feel? What do I want to achieve? And that brings up a lot of good feelings. I want to make $1 million. I want to make $2 million. I want to do this. I want to spend time with my family. I want freedom, all these things, right? But he was like, what you need to be asking yourself is, what pain am I willing to endure to achieve what I said I want? Because the path to reaching your goals is riddled with some pains.
It is here. The Speak Your Way to Cash book is now available for you to purchase. Go to Amazon to get your audio, Kindle, or hardcover copy of the book. And we have a paperback copy, okay? So you can get it on Audible and listen to it. And I read it myself. So if you love the podcast, you will love the audiobook. Go get it now. Speak Your Way to Cash, how to start at the top of the speaking market instead of working your way up from the bottom. A bit about the book. It's broken down into 6 parts, and it is over 260 pages of goodness, okay? Part 1 covers mindset. Part 2 covers getting yourself in the press. Part 3 covers assembling your 6-figure offer. Part 4 covers inviting people to work with you, sales. Part 5 covers delivering an outstanding speech. And Part 6 covers legalities that every speaker needs and how to build a team. I mean, literally, what did we leave out? Nothing. So go to Amazon and grab your copy today. And let me know you did it too.
It's riddled with days where you don't feel like it. It's riddled with days that, it's riddled with days where you're like, I don't want to do this. It's riddled with harder days. And so what he was saying was, don't just ask yourself what you want to achieve. Ask yourself, what pain am I willing to endure? So that when the pain comes, you've already prepared for it mentally. You've thought about it in advance. And so for everyone on here who's watching this right now, when you ask, how will you get there? What activities will you do to get there? You need to DM me, Mika. I'll tell you the book. You need to ask yourself, what pain are you willing to endure to get there? Because I can guarantee you pain. I can guarantee that somebody is going to pass in your life that you love. I can guarantee that your kids are going to do something to make you mad. I can guarantee that someone is going to reject you. I can guarantee that there are going to be pains. And if your perspective is right, pain can be temporary. But if your perspective is wrong, pain can be permanent. I'm going to say it again. If your perspective is right, pain can be temporary. But if your perspective is wrong, pain can be permanent. I'm going to just be honest with you. The people I know who deal with a permanent pain, who are always negative, who are always struggling, who never see goodness in life, who never have anything positive to say, who can never encourage someone else because they're always in a discouraged state, those individuals have a perspective problem because pain happens to all people. But a good perspective can ensure that pain is temporary. You want to know how to guarantee you will get through a bad situation? Check your perspective. Because I don't care how bad the situation has been, I'm taking a win. And to be clear, you guys, because I know a lot of people think my life was perfect. And I have a good life, but I have really good perspective. Because some of the pains I've dealt with have been things like sexual assault, right? Something that I've dealt with in my past. Being locked up, things happen. Like I've had actual painful situations. Losing a family member to the jail system, having to write letters to prison. Been there. Everyone deals with pain, but the difference is, and people are like, oh, you're so resilient. You've been through these things, you're so resilient. No. My perspective, because in the midst of bad situations, I could envision a better life on the other side of it. And another tip, I don't talk about situations I've been through in my life that were painful until I've processed it enough to take the win. So I don't care what, it does not matter what you have been through in your life. You have to take the win. It's not going to look like there's a win in it. It's not going to look like there's something you can do, some positive thing you can get from it. It may not look like something that you're going to be able to work with and to get something good out of it. But I say take the win. Not that your pain is not going to hand you a win. You're going to have to take it out of it. And that's on you. That's within your control. Because when painful situations come in your life, and I don't even know why I'm talking about this. So if it's good to you, just drop good in the chat. Because typically on the Speaker Ready Cash podcast, we cover speaking. Oh, we have a question. If you have a question, drop it in IG and I'll answer the question. Let me just, and yes, I will save this. Good question. I will save this. When you go through a painful situation in your life, you guys, it's not going to feel like that situation is giving you a gift. But in every situation, you can take the win. And only when you have figured out a way to take the win, a way to process it, should you then discuss it. If I'm being 100% honest, because if you discuss it prematurely, what will happen is you talk about a painful situation and you attract a whole lot of people who've been through a similar painful situation, not because they want to help you through it, but because they all want to complain at one time. And the more you discuss something, the more power you give it. And so you have to be careful where your confession lies, what you say about the year. I was with some lady in Staples. She was like, "Oh, I'm so stupid." I was like, "You're not stupid." She was like, "Oh, I just mean," I don't care what you mean. You're not stupid. Like, we cannot, you don't curse yourself. Don't curse yourself. So I talk about things that I've overcome, because as soon as you talk about something, as soon as you're transparent, you're going to get a whole lot of opinions that you did not ask for. And you need to be strong enough to not allow somebody to pull you back into a dark space because you've shared a testimony. A lot of people share testimonies before they've processed them, and then they wonder why they're so stressed out because so-and-so commented and said this, and another person commented and said that. You haven't processed it enough to share it. And so whenever someone says something, you all upset and all over the place. No. Once you've processed it, once you've taken the win, it doesn't matter what someone else says, you redirect that energy in a positive place. So the second question is, the first question, where do you want to be this time next year? You got to know where you're at. Second question, how will you get there? How will you get there? What path will you take? Last question, who can help? Who can help you get there? Who can help you get there? That's the third question. Who can help you get there? And let's qualify this. I learn from everyone, not just people that I like, because I'm mature enough to do so. So I can look at someone and be like, we do not have the same values, but I can learn from you because there are some things that you do that I need to master. I'm going to go in, get the information that I need, put it in my back pocket, and I ain't taking none of your values with me because those are messed up. But that information you got, I can use that. I can leverage that. Now, there are other people who cannot learn from people they don't like, and that's okay. That's okay. You got to know where you're at. It took me a long time to get where I'm at. Now I know that just because you teach me something, it doesn't mean I have to take all of your values with me. I got to do a 30-point examination of who you are. I can go in and get information and come out unscathed. But the reason why when you're a kid, your parents tell you watch your influences is because you're so impressionable as a child. What we negate is that adults are very impressionable too. And so if you're someone who adopts whatever value system you're around, then you may need to only learn from people with a certain set of values. It's like there are some people who are like, I don't hire coaches unless they're Christian because I'm Christian. Your prerogative. But I've learned from people of all religions, and it ain't changed the fact that I believe in Jesus Christ. I'm just not that impressionable. So you got to figure out who can help you. And there are some qualifications. Now, if what I need help with is relationship advice, like if me and Chris need some relationship advice, then the qualifications for the person who can help in that area are going to be value-based. It is going to be character-based. I'm not going to somebody who done cheated on their wife for the past 10 of the 11 years they've been married to be my marriage mentor. That's just foolish. But if what I need help with is how to run a Facebook ad, I don't need to give them a moral character test first. If they run good Facebook ads and if they're not going to rob me, right? So the qualifications are different, but you do need standards for every single person that is going to speak into your life. It's very different if someone's going to teach you a skill that you can just, like, someone's going to teach me how to swim. They're not also about to give me advice about my marriage and how to, and if they try to do that, I have boundaries. So one, you got to figure out what hard skills do you need to know and who can help you with that. And then what soft skills do you need to know? Who can help you with that? As it relates to getting coaching in your business, what I have found is that there is overlap in the hard skills. Like, I teach people how to pitch for large corporate contracts, very good at it. But in order for them to pitch for those contracts, I got to also deal with the mindset. So there's overlap. I don't recommend people who don't align with my values work with me intimately over 3 to 6 months as a group coach, because we're going to dive into the values, we're going to dive into the mindset, and we're going to dive into the hard skill. So yeah, you probably should want to be in alignment with my value system. You don't want me teaching you something that's like totally against how you decided to live your life. So when it comes to who can help you, what I look at, in addition to, I look at the skill. What is the skill I need to learn? Can they teach me the skill? Is there evidence that they can teach me the skill? The evidence part is really important. If it is a soft skill or it's something on the personal development track, I do look at their value system. If there's overlap, then I'm also looking at their value system. But there may be people you do a quick little 1-hour session with to get your questions answered, and you decide to not work with them on a deeper level. But these are things that we consider in annual planning. Who's going to help me get to where I need to go? Now, as it relates to coaching for your business and your life, because there's a lot of overlap there, I'm gonna be real with you. You should ask yourself, does this coach, does this person, like, are they going to teach me how to think about this, or are they just going to teach me how they think about it? Because there's a power dynamic there. I hope I'm not going like too deep on this, but you know, if I teach you how I do something, that's one thing. That's great. I'm gonna teach that. I'm gonna definitely teach you how I do it, how I've achieved it. But if you come and you want to do it slightly differently, if I don't create space for that to also be correct, it could be a problem. It could be a problem. So here's what that'll look like. I teach you to pitch a certain way. Like, I'm gonna give you my pitch templates. But if you do a pitch and it doesn't go with the template at all, but it's still really good and it'll be effective because of the essence of what you have there, I'm going to encourage that too, because I would prefer to teach you how to think about pitching so that you can add your own originality into it. And I'll tell you why. And this is an evolved teaching style that I've had to grow into, because what I learned is I'll give people scripts, templates, everything all day. And the thing that they'll think is like, oh, this works for Ashley, but I don't know if it'll work for me. And the reason they'll think that is because there may be like one little thing in the pitch that is totally in alignment with how I live, but it's not in alignment with how they get down. And they didn't change it because they were scared that if they changed my pitch, I'd be like, that's not right. We are conditioned to go through a school system and a work system that gives gold stars. So everything is like, well, Ashley, is this right? Well, is this right? Is this right? Is this right? Sometimes you need to learn the essence of how I think about it. You're going to have my script, but once you learn the essence, you can do it a number of different ways. There are just some principles that you need to learn so that it can be effective. The principles and the essence of how I do things are the things that have made me successful. But you changing a couple of words in a pitch, or you doing it slightly differently, or you adding in your own originality, I encourage that. And I encourage it because I don't have a God complex. So I don't need you worshiping me. I need you believing in yourself. And what I've seen in this industry, if I could just be 100% honest, is that a lot of people get into the online business space, and this is the first time they've ever had any type of power and authority in their lives. And so they require worship from their clients. So instead of empowering their clients to make decisions even absent them, they demean their clients, and the only people that are promoted are the clones of themselves. Yikes. I may have to edit this out. This is gonna be. Did I step on some toes? Because have y'all noticed that? Is it just me? Am I the only one? Okay. Because if we're being real, I could never coach anyone else, and my family would be just as well off. I don't. It's not that the coaching gives me authority or power, or it's not that. I make money doing the thing I coach about too. So the power dynamic is different. So I don't have to demean people who don't want to work with me. I don't have to make you feel bad because you can't invest with me. I don't have to do any of that. Now, that being said, I 1,000,000% believe that people who invest with me are investing on good soil, so there will be a harvest. I 1,000,000% believe every person I coach in the Speak Your Way to Cash Academy, or every business that hires Mobile General Counsel as my law firm, I 1,000,000% believe that their lives are better for it. And because I believe it, I tell people to invest with me all the time. That's how it works. If you have something good and you believe in that something good, you tell everyone about it, which is also why when I see business owners that don't promote, I know that there is insecurity about the thing that they are selling. And so they need to get solid in the information they're selling. It is natural. When you watch a good TV show, what you do, you tell other people. When you all read my book, many of y'all have read my book and have shared the book. Some of y'all posted selfies with the book like, yo, go get this book because it was good. But guess what? All of you watching have something good on the inside of you too. And it's okay to tell people about the good thing. It really is. That's all sales is. Sales is sharing something good with other people so they can get good results too. That's all it is. But on the flip side of that, I'm so confident in what I do that if someone chooses not to invest with me, I don't got to demean them. I just shared a gift with them. If they don't want the gift, it's weird, but that's on them. You know what I mean? I'm like, really? You ain't going to do this? That's crazy. Why? Whatever. But that's on you. I've already done my job with sharing something good. And sometimes I follow up because it's so good. I want to make sure you don't miss out on the next time. That's why I sell the way I sell. People are like, how are you so consistent? I'm like, how could I not be so consistent when I got something that's so good? Like, come on, it's good. What? Why wouldn't I tell y'all about it? I've cracked the code on something that other people haven't, and it's good and it works, and other people are getting their lives benefited for it. So I share it. And so when you think about who can help you, you want to make sure that that person has confidence for real. And it doesn't need to be shallow, fake confidence. We need to start being honest about confidence. Confidence is so misunderstood in the online space. We think confidence is like, oh, shorty got a nice body. She posted a bikini pic. She's so confident. What? That's not it. You know what I mean? Like, confidence to me is being able to sit in a room full of brilliant people and admit you're wrong and still hold your head high. Come on. Can we talk about like real confidence is being able to be amongst brilliant people and not having to put them down because you know that your power is not diminished because other people in the room got power too. That's confidence. So when I hear people talk about, like, the internet is really big on competition. They're like, there's no competition, only collaboration. We don't need to compete. But the truth is, real confident people can compete against one another and still go break bread and genuinely love one another. The only reason why people are so dogged about avoiding competition and being like, we compete, we don't collaborate, baby. I could do both. I can compete with you, collaborate with you, break bread with you, go on vacation with you, all in the same week because I got confidence for real. It's not built on other people being diminished. Like, can we just stop with these notions that are not, it's not wise, y'all. Like, we don't have the way, like, come on. We got Target, we got Walmart, we got Kmart, we got a lot of businesses are in the same industry. By definition, they're competitors. It does not mean they hate one another. And the reason why I'm like, why are people on the internet so caught up in this whole, we don't compete, I only compete with myself? Well, baby, if that's what you want to tell yourself, it's fine. It's just not factually true. If there are other people in your industry, you have competition, whether you acknowledge it or not. But competition does not diminish your competence unless your confidence is shallow to begin with. Confidence has depth. Confidence can be inspected. Confidence can be wrong. Confidence can be challenged. Confidence can withstand. The very essence of confidence is substance. If we're going to be real about it. So if you intimidated by everyone and everything, it just means you lack confidence. And guess what? Confidence doesn't say I'm right about everything. Confidence says I know what I'm right about. Like, I just feel like we've gotten it so wrong. Confidence it doesn't have a look, it's a presence, it's an essence. And I have been deceived. And we're on the question, who can help me get to where I want to be next year? But I got to tell y'all this. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all. I vowed to be more transparent this year because I've grown in confidence this year. And so it is what it is. But I'm going to tell you guys a story before we get off here. I'm going to tell y'all a real story, true story. I don't know, my husband, I don't think my husband's watching this. I think he's going to be okay with me telling y'all this. I was deceived by fake confidence myself. Y'all. I hired someone because everything about her looked confident. It was like, oh, she seems very confident. This seems perfect. Great. I will go ahead and do it. Because for me, I have to work with confident people because if I don't, they're going to be intimidated. And so for me, I was like, okay, well, this person looks confident. I'll hire them. And I was telling my husband they had done some really shady things. And I was like, but why would they do that? I thought they were confident. Oh, it was shallow, but it looked real. It was shallow, but it looked real. I was deceived by fake confidence. So I share this not to say I share this because if we're not careful, all of us have the ability to get caught up in how someone looks or how something looks. And we don't inspect the thing. We don't take the time to because here's the thing. At the end of the day, if it's all about the money, if it's all about the bags, if it's all about the shoes, if it's all about how things look, is that confidence? But I was so deceived. I was like, oh, looks confident. I'll work with this person. Got in. It was shallow confidence. And I knew it because immediately there was intimidation. There was jealousy. There was pettiness. There was all of these different things. And really what it was, if you examine confidence, the person's confidence, perceived confidence, simultaneously with their character, you'll be better off. But we do have to be very, very careful about who we allow to help us because in some capacities, we allow people with no vision to see ours. And it's dangerous because once you pay someone to coach you in a particular area, you are inviting them to speak into your life, to speak over you, to advise and guide you along your journey. And if that person isn't right, if that person isn't solid, if that person isn't secure, they can speak doubt into you in such a manipulative way that it deters what you have going on. So it is important that with coaching, you are careful about who speaks into your life. This is different than before. I talked about somebody going, teach me how to set up a funnel. Cool, I set up the funnel, I'll never talk to you again. You don't speak into my life. You don't encourage me, and times are hard. But when you hire a coach, you are inviting them to advise you over and above your business, because oftentimes what I have seen is if someone's mindset isn't right, their business isn't right. It's very difficult to grow beyond your own thinking, your own thought process. The way you think about things matters, and it affects your bottom line, which is why I'm a huge proponent of therapy. I'm a huge proponent of processing your past correctly. I don't believe your past can define you. I do believe the way you process it will. And I talk about that. Part 1 of the book, 40 pages, mindset, 40 plus pages, all about mindset. If you don't have the Speak Your Way to Cash book, you need to get it. It's good. It is good, y'all. It is really, really good. And I have an audiobook. So if you're like, I ain't about to read all that, it's a long book, I read it for you. You can listen to me read the book, okay? Went to a studio for like 21 hours, I think. 8 hours. How long? Yeah, over 21 hours in a studio reading the book. So look, let's do a recap. We talked about a lot tonight. Where do you want to be this time next year? Physically, mentally, spiritually. How will you get there? And part 1, where do you want to be this time next year? I want y'all to dream big, and then I want you to act small. And I don't mean act small like be false, humble, and all of that. I mean act small like it's going to take small, consistent steps in order for you to get there. So question 1, where do you want to be this time next year? Question 2 is, how will you get there? What small, consistent actions will you take? Sub question, what pain are you willing to endure to reach your goals? And then as an encouraging note, I want you to enjoy the journey. You're waking up every day, it's one person on your live, and you're still enjoying it. You're still doing it because you know it's what you're called to do. You know it's what you're purposed to do. I may give y'all a word on purpose at the end too, because I don't want this to confuse you. But 3, who can help you? Who can help you get there? What skills do they have? Are they confident for real? Substantive confidence? Do they have depth? If you ask them a question, can they answer it? Is there evidence that they've mastered the skill, that they at least know it well enough to teach you and get you to where you need to be? And then if you're working with coaches, because we are in open enrollment for Speak Your Way to Cash Academy until December 11th. And I don't think I'll extend it, but until December 11th, we're in open enrollment for our program. But you do need to ask yourself, who can help you? Do they have depth of knowledge? And depending on what they're helping you with, you may need to look at their character. You may need to look at their values. You may need to look at some other stuff, some intangibles, depending on what role they're serving on your journey. Okay? Depending on what role they're serving on your journey. And then here's the other thing, because there are some people who are like, look, I don't know my purpose. I don't know how to figure out my purpose, Ashley. I've tried. I work this job. I don't like it, but I don't know what else I want to do. I don't know this. I don't know my next step. I don't know this. I don't know this. First off, stop confessing you don't know everything. You know something. The fact that you know you don't like your job means you know something. And the more you confess, I don't know this, I don't know that, I don't know this, you will never trust yourself to make a decision. And the way that you will become successful as an entrepreneur is by taking consistent, decisive action. And it should not take all day. That does not mean don't think about things. It does not mean rush into things. But as a CEO, I have to make decisive decisions. I can't take 7 years to make it. No, you got to make quick decisions. And some of you struggle with choosing a coach, with choosing a direction, with choosing a purpose. Major key, you can choose your purpose. They struggle with choosing all that because every time you think about what you want to do with your life, you're confessing that you don't know anything. And you do know. You do know. You intuitively know more than you think. And I need you to trust yourself, because if you don't trust yourself to make some decisions, you will never pivot your life. You gotta be comfortable saying, I made that decision, and I typically make the right decision. And if I make the wrong decision, I'm powerful enough to rebound. Period. But as it relates to purpose, everyone's looking up under books, looking up under desks and chairs for their purpose. You can decide what you are purposed to do. I believe you have power, agency, and authority to decide what you are purposed to do. And once you start doing that thing, you can iterate on that. You can decide. So instead of making instead of allowing the internet to make you feel like you don't know your purpose because you haven't had some magical, like the clouds didn't open and the Lord himself didn't say to you audibly while you were at a stoplight, you are purposed to start a business and run a boutique. Like, because that didn't happen, you over here like, I don't got no purpose. First off, you ain't got no purpose because you haven't decided what your purpose is. Decide what your purpose is. Now, there are clues. The things that you are naturally good at that come natural to you, those can be clues to determine what your purpose is. But don't stop at what you're naturally good at just because you're naturally good at it, people. Because I know how some of y'all are. I'm naturally good at this. I don't got to invest in this. I'm the best in the world at this. No, Ashley did not say that. What your natural gifts are, once you invest to make them better, you will continue to get better at them. You still have to invest. I'm a naturally good speaker. I still invest in getting better. I still learn. And some of you know exactly what you're supposed to do, but because you don't know how to monetize it, you're lying about the fact that you're supposed to do it. The first step is to decide your purpose. The second step is to figure out how you can dream big and act small, the consistent actions you'll do towards it. Start moving towards it. Okay? Now, I love y'all, okay? Love y'all for real. Y'all good people, just like Monique be saying. I love y'all for real. Y'all good people. Y'all sat here with me for an hour and listened to this video. I think it was about where do you want to be this time next year? And I share with you guys some things that I have struggled with and overcome and some things that I'm thinking about and planning for next year, because I want you all to know how I think. And I want you to know how I think because those of you who are on here, some of y'all are like, well, what can we pay you to do? Because I want to hire you. I just like what you're talking about. I own a law firm called Mobile General Counsel. I have a phenomenal lead attorney at that firm. Her name is Kanina Ip. She's awesome. She is currently taking clients for the law firm that I founded. So if you're interested, you need your trademarks, you need your contracts, you don't know what you need, go to mobilegeneralcounsel.com and click that book a legal audit button. We'll get you, they're going to help you get your stuff together. Then I also own a company that I believe is like my baby, right? Speak Your Way to Cash. And I run it like a business. I don't run it like my baby. I don't want y'all to get confused about that neither, but it is definitely the business that grew organically from me deciding to acknowledge and accept the fact that I am called to be a speaker. I am called to coach people to their next level. I am supposed to do this work. The proof is in the results. The proof is in the testimonials. The proof is in the way that I feel when doing that work. So Speak Your Way to Cash is my company. It is a podcast. It is a book that is now on Amazon. The audiobook launched as a #1 new release. It is incredible. You can go get it. It is called Speak Your Way to Cash. The podcast is called Speak Your Way to Cash. We have a coaching program called Speak Your Way to Cash Academy. I keep it real simple. We own the brand Speak Your Way to Cash. So the Academy is where I coach speakers for 3 or 6 months on how to land their own 5 or 6 figure corporate speaking contract and so much more. But if you're interested in that, DM me because we are in open enrollment. There's an application to apply for that program. And we'll have some more stuff coming out soon, later this year. We do challenges, we do some other stuff. Make sure you're on our email list if you want to know when we launch our challenges and all that stuff. I think in the next week or so, week or 2 weeks, we're going to announce something that we're going to be doing. But look, y'all, plan for next year. Those are the ways you work with me. If you want to land a 5 or 6 figure contract or protect the IP in your business, I am the person you will call. Not personally, but like the companies that I run, they do those things. And I love what I do. I love the people that I work with. We are very selective with who we work with. And I think y'all should be selective about who you work with too. But a lot of what I do that I don't talk about a lot is help people to believe in themselves in a more consistent, enlarged way. I'm big on dreaming, but I'm also really big on action. I do not call myself a manifestation coach because because it's gotten a bad rap. I'm really big on action. I believe the evidence that you have faith in something is the fact that you move your feet towards it, not the fact that you've said it. Like, I believe that if you tell me you have a goal, I can ask you what you've done over the last 30 days towards that goal. And based on the list of things that you give me, I can say, oh yeah, you believe in that. So that's where I come from. So if you want to like sit on Netflix all day, not do any work, sell with your eyes closed, you want clients to come to you without you having to pitch or do anything at all, you just want to sit there and it all happens organically, I'm probably not the best person for you to work with. But if you want to learn how to sell at a really high level, how to have great sales conversation, you need help with your language to convert your leads, then I'm the person that you would work with. I absolutely love selling because I like spreading good news. And I believe in what I have to offer. And I only work with clients that are real experts. So everyone I work with knows their expertise. We just help them package it. They're already brilliant. They're already powerful. They're already dynamic. We just help make greater even greater. We help make good even better. You know what I'm saying? We help make exceptional, incredible. Like, we are taking people that are already really powerful, like all of you watching this, and we help level that up. We add to the power. We don't need to detract from it. I don't sell down, so I'm not going to be like, y'all sitting at home, ain't got no money in the bank account. Y'all need to buy it. I'm not that girl. So if you need that level of fear-based selling, then, I'm not going to sell it to you. But that's who I am and that's what I do. And if this was a good live to you and you enjoyed this conversation, I know we went a little bit long, but please share it with someone. Please share it with someone, because I am a firm believer that we can all be powerful. And if you get a whole lot of powerful people in the room, the world can change and the earth can shake. And I want that to happen for each and every one of you. So thank you so much for listening. My name's Ashley with the Speak Your Way to Cash brand and podcast and book and all those great things. But this is a good discussion. Share it with somebody and let me know if it was good. If you want to send me a message, send me a DM. That type of stuff just helps me to know the content we're putting out really is helping people. And if you watch this on the replay, please leave a review, a little comment down below so I know you, oops, my bad, Instagram. So I know that you watched it. And that's all I got for y'all. Have a good one. Yeah, thank you for tagging your friends. Yeah, please do tag your friends in this. And I'll leave it up.
All right, wasn't that interview amazing? If you're anything like me, you have pages full of notes. But here's the thing. Before you head out, I want you to go to facebook.com and join the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group. That is where I am. That's where a ton of other speakers are, a ton of other people who listen to the show. We all congregate there and chat. And it's 100% free. Now, if you're ready to take your speaking career to the next level, I have 2 ways for you to do that. One, you can go to ashleynicolekirkwood.com/SYWTC live replay and pick up the live replay. That training is 7 modules, chock full of information. It's crazy. Go over there, read all about it. Or if you want a more personal experience, you already know that you want to be a speaker. You're ready to fully commit and you want someone to walk you through it and save you tons of time Googling and doing it on your own, then book a VIP day with me. You can go to ashleynicolekirkwood.com, scroll down until you see the VIP day section and get more information on that there. All right. Thank you guys again for watching. Please do not forget to leave us a review. That is how we keep this train rolling and get some of the best speakers in the world to get on this show. So please, please, please leave a review. Shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram, and Facebook in the Speak Your Way to Cash group, Instagram at the Ashley Nicole Show. And I'd be more than happy to chat with you and say hi. All right, y'all have an awesome, awesome day.